I wanted to make a Dandadan What If for so long. And so, after I watched 3 episodes of the second season of Dandadan, I decided to make this video. What if Deku was Okarun's reincarnation? And trust me, this is the best video ever made! If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. Now with that said, sit back and enjoy. When Izuku was born, the doctors noticed that he was special. They noticed that he awakened his quirk right after he was born, and that it was a transformation quirk, which is very interesting, because if a person does awaken their quirk from birth, it's most always a mutation quirk. And so, a doctor after Izuku was born informed Izuku's parents about his situation, and they were both amazed by Izuku. But the doctor tells them that it could have been fatal for Inko. If Izuku had activated his quirk before he was born, Inko could have been in grave danger. After informing Izuku's parents about him, the doctor leaves to help the other doctors do some tests on Izuku. The doctors start doing tests on Izuku to see what his quirk even is, because the only thing they know about it is just that it's a transformation quirk. From their tests, they find out that Izuku's quirk turns his hair into a greyish color, as well as gives him some kind of red markings across his face, and also manifests a kind of mask over his mouth. Izuku's personality seems to change as well. They've monitored Izuku for days now, and his quirk seems to be influencing his personality and his emotions by making him more emotionless. Okay, now that I'm done with the scripted part, let me continue like unscripted. Okay, so afterwards the doctor goes to Izuku's parents and he tells them like what they found, that he gets like increased like stats overall, like strength, speed, durability, enhanced senses and shit. But the problem is that his body cannot handle that increased like strength that he gets, just like one for all, yeah. And obviously right now he doesn't get that big of a boost, but like the older he gets and the stronger he becomes like physically, the more of a boost he's going to get via the transformation. And so after the doctor says that to Izuku's parents, they take Izuku and they bring him home. Okay, so 4 years pass and Izuku is now in kindergarten with Bakugo, and now actually it's the day where Bakugo is going to get his quirk. And so Bakugo tells him, "Hey Izuku, since I'm getting my quirk tomorrow, do you think we can compare our quirks to see whose quirk is stronger?" And Izuku answers Bakugo, "Sure, we can do that." So the next day comes and Bakugo tells Izuku, "My quirk is explosions, I can make explosions out of my sweat," the doctor said. And Izuku is very impressed with Bakugo's quirk. Now, Bakugo asks Izuku if they could have that fight they talked about yesterday to see whose quirk is stronger. And Izuku answers him, "Sure, we can do it now." And so they get ready to fight, quote unquote. There's not gonna be a real fight because their quirks are like weak for now. I guess Izuku is quite strong at 4 years old, but Bakugo is like very weak. Yeah. Izuku tries to activate his quirk, but like he's unable to do it, and so he tries once more. But it just doesn't activate. And because of that, Bakugo starts making fun of Izuku. And Izuku is just done with Bakugo because like he was like bullying Izuku like a little bit because he was said to like have a quirk, but he never activated it. So Izuku like gets mad at Bakugo and he goes like to a berserk state, I guess. And he like rampages and jumps onto Bakugo, starts punching him, and accidentally, quote unquote, like not I guess accidentally for Izuku, but he intentionally in the rage mode broke Bakugo's arm when suddenly Izuku like wakes up, quote unquote, and apologizes to Bakugo, and he starts crying like as his Bakugo because his arm just got broken. And after a while, Izuku's mom just is called to the office, and they say, "We can't have Izuku here until he learns to control his quirk, because he's a danger to the kids." And afterwards they leave and they go home, and Izuku in a crying and like sad voice tells his mom that he didn't want to hurt Bakugo. He just like insulted him, and somehow he just was on top of Bakugo and his arm was broken. He didn't realize what he was doing. Basically, he was not active. He was passive in his body. Basically, it was like something like took over Izuku's body. And from now on, Izuku has to learn how to use his quirk correctly, because if he doesn't, he's just not gonna be able to go to school. And overall have a good life, I guess, because he's always gonna be on the edge of like, am I gonna transform suddenly and break someone else's arm or not? That's basically how Izuku's thinking right now. And so Izuku's mom tries to put him in another school, like transfer him and shit, but they don't allow him because of the incident he has in his last school and shit. And so from now, Izuku is gonna be meditating and doing exercises to control his quirk better, because the more unstable his mentality is and his brain is, the worse the control over his quirk is gonna be. And so for the next 2 years, Izuku is not gonna be going to school and only going to be at home, obviously, and meditating and exercising his body and shit and mind, so that he can control his quirk better, so that doesn't happen again, basically. And after those 2 years pass, Izuku sees a difference between him 2 years ago and him today, basically. And that's, he can activate his quirk without him going berserk mode, basically. And the only thing that actually happens when he transforms is that he seems to become more emotionless and more don't wanna be here kind of vibe. And now that Izuku has learned how to use his quirk like safely, I guess, they are going to go to the doctor so that the doctor can like write a paper or something to the school that Izuku is able to control his quirk now and that's not gonna happen again. And so from now on, Izuku is gonna be able to go back to school and he can go back to school, basically. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now Izuku is gonna be able to go to school, obviously, and all the kids and like the teachers, I guess, they're gonna be scared of Izuku, especially Bakugo, because he got like his arm broken 2 years ago. He's not gonna be going anywhere near Izuku. He's not gonna be messing with Izuku, because he knows bro is like dangerous to society, basically. So yeah, Izuku is gonna be having, I guess, more of a normal life from now on. And after school, he's gonna be doing the same thing that he has been doing, like meditation, some like physical exercises, and also he's gonna be trying to like, kind of like Goku when he tried to perfect Super Saiyan, he's gonna try to go for as long as possible with the transformation, so he can see what the differences is, or like what the drawback, I guess, of the transformation is. And no, I'm not gonna make him a fucking bodybuilder from the age of 7, okay? Bro is gonna train like a little bit, not that much, because obviously he's like 6 years old right now. Maybe like when he's like over the age of 10, maybe he's gonna start training more, but yeah. And so Izuku goes through like normal life stuff, like normal daily life stuff, like going to school, getting discriminated by other people because he's too strong, I guess, doing some push-ups, doing some meditation, eating some good food. And yeah, that's basically what Izuku's daily life is gonna be for the next 4 years about. Okay, so now Izuku is about 10 years old, and now he's gonna start getting like through like training crazily, or like he's gonna have more intense training sessions, I guess, of which he's gonna be going to the gym from now on, and obviously continuing using his transformation for as long as possible. And as I said, he's more like emotionless / I don't wanna be here kind of attitude. So he's gonna be way more calm as well. And so like if people like start like making fun of him or something, he just like doesn't really care, because he has less emotions now. And he can keep the transformation for about 3 minutes. And Bakugo was saved because like literally Izuku had like 10 seconds of the transformation to like activate it, or else he would have been like seriously injured by the transformation. But yeah, literally Izuku has no friends, no one wants to be friends with him. And so he's just like alone most of the time at school as well. He just activates his fucking transformation for as long as possible, as I said, because it kind of relaxes him. Because when he's in his actual form, or like his detransformed state, he has more emotions, he's more expressive. And that kind of hurts him a whole lot, because when people just don't like you at all, because like 4 years ago when you were 6 or something, Wasn't 6? No, was like 4 years old, yeah? So like it was 6 years ago. 6 fucking years ago you did something, they still fucking hate you for it. And it was accidentally, bro. You accidentally did that shit and they still hate you. Which is fucking crazy. And like Izuku keeps like trying to activate the transformation in school as well. Because he just doesn't want to deal with the feelings that he has in school, at least because of the discrimination he like gets, you get me? For having done that so many years ago. Okay, so Izuku has no friends, which means he's gonna be way more socially like awkward when in his actual form, because as I said, it suppresses emotions and most of them are the like bad emotions. And also, wait, let me rephrase that. The transformation suppresses most of his emotions and makes him emotionless to a certain point. It's not everything is gone. Joy is there, obviously, to some degree. Also sadness, but it's way less than it would have been without the transformation. And so, because he's transformed, he doesn't feel as anxious as he would have been without the transformation. And because he has no friends, no social interaction, he's gonna be way like more socially awkward and anxious. But yeah, now Izuku is 10 years old and his like normal life is just he goes to school, he waits until the school's over and then he goes back home, meditates and does some training. And for the next 4 years up until the UA entrance exam, he's gonna be doing the same thing, but he's gonna be trained to use more of his quirk, because what he has done until now is like mostly just use it to just hide from people and just hide his depression basically, or like his trauma basically. But yeah, he's gonna be trained to actually use his transformation the correct way, by just going to an abandoned track or something, and the bro just runs and goes. And bro just literally goes and runs basically, and he finishes 400 meters in 4.6 seconds about, and that's approximately 1/4 of the speed of sound, which is very fucking fast. Okay, it's very fucking fast. And I was thinking of making him about like speed of sound Izuku right now, but why would I make a 10-year-old the speed of sound? Okay, so I'm gonna make him that later. Anyways, he does that and he continuously goes and like starts running a lot, also like doing like speed training, strength training, endurance training, and also meditation, as you know, that he has been doing for a long time now. And so with that training, 4 years pass about, and now it's actually the day of the exam, of the UA entrance exam. Now Izuku could have taken the bus, because his house and UA is quite a long like ways apart, or away I guess, but yeah, he goes and just runs to it. And let me tell you, Izuku has been training a whole lot this 4 years. He has increased his speed by 4 times, okay? He has multiplied his speed 4 times. He can run at Mach 1, which is the speed of sound, okay? And he starts running when suddenly everyone is like almost fucking deafened from Izuku running, because the sonic boom happens, okay? He goes like right above speed of sound. He doesn't go exactly Mach 1, he goes Mach 1 plus a little bit more. So the sound barrier is broken, bro. And so everyone is almost fucking deafened from that shit, okay? And so, yeah, Izuku runs, and after that sonic boom happens, he screams, "Sorry!" and just goes to school, and in 3 seconds about, he is to his school, basically. Okay, so Izuku arrives, and it's actually exactly the time that he had to arrive, like last moment he arrives basically. So Izuku goes in, he takes the written portion of the exam, and then goes up to the area where they're going to be doing the practical exam after President Mike explains everything. Now, because Izuku is just so socially awkward, he has to activate his transformation for him to even be around so many people, because he cannot do that without the transformation. He's kind of dependent on it, like a whole lot. Now Izuku hears President Mike saying, "There are no countdowns in a real battle. Go, go, go!" And everyone starts running, while Izuku, with his chill attitude and like very calm attitude, he just waits for everyone to leave and just goes past every single one of them and just starts destroying robots left and right and left and right, bro. He does not, like, any single robot that is in front of him is destroyed, bro. He doesn't like let any of the robots like go unscathed. Oh, and Izuku is not gonna be having any problems with the transformation, like running out of time and shit, because by this point, with all the training that Izuku has done with his transformation, he can keep it on for about 30 minutes, which is a huge improvement from his last, I think, like nearly 3 minutes or like 5 minutes or something. So yeah, Izuku is fine on the Department of Time with his transformation, obviously. With his transformation, obviously. But yeah, Izuku, after a whole long of time passes with the test, hears loud noises right behind him, and so he looks back, and it's the giant fucking robot that the President Mike said to not like really destroy, because it isn't worth any points. But Izuku decides to just go for it, when suddenly he just looks right in front of him and he sees a girl like trapped under rubble, and he decides, okay, let me just go first, help her, and then go destroy the robot. So he does that. He goes at right under speed of sound, because he doesn't wanna destroy people's ears, okay? He doesn't wanna cause another sonic boom, okay? And so he goes very quickly, but not at the speed of sound, to help Uraraka. He picks her up, he destroys the rubble that's on top of her, he picks her up, and he brings her right to the side where the 0 pointer is not gonna hurt her, basically. Yeah, I forgot to record this part, sorry. Yeah, so Izuku, after helping Uraraka and like save her basically from the 0 pointer, he goes right under him and he says, alright, let's do it, because he thinks that this might kind of be a little bit of a challenge, because he doesn't really have anyone that's like as strong as him, because no one wanted to be friends with him, like in every school that he was in. He just never had friends after that one incident with Bakugo, and so he could never really know if someone was as strong as him, because they were all scared of him because of that one time. So Izuku just gets ready, gets into a jumping stance, goes back a little bit, runs like almost the speed of sound, and just jumps through the fucking 0 pointer. The 0 pointer is basically King Piccolo versus Goku. Goku is Izuku and King Piccolo is the 0 pointer. That's basically how the 0 pointer looks. And now Izuku is literally on the sky and like falling and shit. How is he going to like go up to the ground and shit, like fall safely? He doesn't really know. He's just gonna try shit, and so he tries and doing the Looney Tunes shit of like just running on the sky, and bro just literally just does that, and he just falls. But he doesn't really get any kinds of damage because he has high amounts of durability as well. So yeah, after that happens, Aura comes up to Izuku and thanks him for saving her, and Izuku says, no, it was nothing. Like, just doesn't want to be here. Doesn't want to talk to girls because he doesn't want to talk to people overall. And so he just says, it was nothing, and just leaves, basically. Now, Izuku runs home, obviously, as I said. It's like 3 minutes to his home. Oh, 3 minutes, what the fuck am I saying? 3 seconds to his home, and so he goes, zero sound. Like that, he can go up to the speed of sound. He cannot go faster right now, okay? I'm going to make him obviously faster later, but his speed of sound right now. So yeah, Izuku runs home. They hear the sonic boom once more, people, and they fucking cuss at Izuku, but he just ignores them and just goes home. Now, next day, or like next week actually, Izuku gets a letter from UA where All Might says, a young man, everyone in the school is impressed with you. Okay, I was about to say some cringe shit. I already did, but I'm not gonna include it here. So basically, All Might glazes the fuck out of Izuku, basically, and that everyone is like impressed with Izuku, and that how he saved that girl without even any difficulties and no like casualties as well. So yeah, basically bro got a #1 score because he destroyed a whole lot of fucking robots and perfectly saved Uraraka. And mind you, Izuku is not in his transform state, so he's very emotional right now, and he starts crying. He's crying so much right now, he could literally fill his room with tears. And after Izuku calms down a little bit and stops crying, he goes up to his mom and he says, "Mom, finally someone except you is proud of me." We begin our part with Izuku going to his first day of UA, and like when he went to the entrance exam, he's going to be going the sound speed, the speed of sound, to his school, which means about 3 seconds. And so, like usual, he starts running, and when suddenly boom, speed of like the sound barrier has been broken, and again he's getting insulted by everyone around him, of which he will most likely have to stop running at this speed. I think like go subsonic, because if he doesn't, he's gonna get in trouble. And like at one point, okay, like he probably can like do it 2 or 3 times more with no repercussions, but he's probably gonna get into some trouble before using his quirk like that. But yeah, he arrives at school in 3 seconds, and so bro literally like leaves 1 minute before school starts, okay? That's how kind of like he doesn't wanna waste time, basically. So yeah, he goes to school, he arrives to school, and he goes inside the classroom and he sees Bakugo, because he would realize who Bakugo is, because they went to the same school, obviously, all the time. Like basically it's like in the original where they went to the same school for their whole lives. They know each other, obviously, is what I'm trying to say. But as I said, Bakugo kind of has trauma from Izuku like breaking his arm, but he's trying to like he will try to fucking act as a cool guy and like say, "Oh, what can you do, you useless piece of shit, you monster." And so yeah, Izuku looks at Bakugo, just turns on his transformation, because he deactivated the transformation right after he arrived, and then directly like actually started walking to the classroom. And so he activates his transformation once again, so that he doesn't have to deal with the emotions of dealing with Bakugo, basically. And Bakugo goes up to him and says, "You better not do it. That better not happen once more. You will get expelled." And Izuku answers Bakugo in the transformed state, "Get the fuck out, please. Leave my fucking line of sight, please. I will do something if you don't do it." And Bakugo gets fucking thrown like PTSD, basically. He goes and leaves, bro. He doesn't want that to happen once more, because he knows that Izuku will destroy him. He has seen Izuku run at the speed of sound, okay? Because bro has done that about 5 times, I would say, until now. Obviously the two times were him going to school and him going to school twice, I guess, like the first and for the entrance exam and to school the first day, and the other 3 times were just him training with his speed, and he bro literally broke the sound barrier 3 times before he went to school. So yeah, Bakugo knows that bro is sonic speed, okay? He's like the speed of sound. And so Bakugo leaves, sits down, when suddenly Aizawa pops out of the corner, out of the hall, and just says to everyone, "Go get ready and meet me outside." But Uraraka mentions to Aizawa that don't we have like orientation? And Aizawa tells her, if you were here for orientation, you wouldn't be here for hero training. You're just wasting your time with that, so we're not even gonna do it. And so everyone goes and changes clothes and shit. When Bakugo, Kaminari, and every guy in the class looks at Izuku's body, and they see it's very defined and very scarred as well, and they ask, "Yo dude, how the fuck did you get all those scars?" And Izuku tells them the honest answer. He's been training in the woods most of the time, so he gets a lot of scratches from animals, quirked animals as well. and also like falling down while they're running, because his quirk is stated to be a physical enhancement quirk, but mostly a speed quirk. So yeah. And what is even the quirk of Izuku? What am I gonna call it, or what do they call it as well? I would say a cool and fitting name would be Turbo. Just call it Turbo, because like Turbo Granny, you get it? It's a cool name as well, like Turbo. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it Turbo. His quirk is named Turbo. Obviously, I'm not gonna call it Turbo Granny because no one fucking knows who Turbo Granny is. So yeah, Izuku like answers them, and Bakugo is a bit surprised from his answer, because he didn't expect like Izuku to be kind of semi torturing himself for him to get like that strong, because he, like, Izuku gone through things, okay? He never had friends. He never got over him breaking Bakugo's arm, so he has to subconsciously lower himself, like, strength-wise as well. So he probably can go a bit faster, but he chooses not to subconsciously. So yeah, they finally get their clothes on. They go outside. They meet Aizawa. Now Aizawa throws the ball, the baseball that will measure how far someone throws the ball, to Izuku. Izuku catches it, and Aizawa tells him, use your quirk, just don't leave the circle. And Izuku tells him, can I do that, please? My quirk is literally speed. Could I just like do it for, I don't know, like 5 meters probably? And Aizawa is like confused, because he's never really gotten that question before. Izuku is quite a weird one, he would say. While Izuku right now is not in his transformed state, he's in his regular state. And Aizawa says, I guess you can, just do it, I don't care. And so Izuku goes like about 5-6 meters back, activates his quirk, runs runs at high amounts of speed, and then right at the end he throws the ball, jumps towards it, and kicks the fuck out of it, okay? Because I wanted to make him do something cool for once, other than just run at the speed of sound, obviously. So Izuku literally just comboed the fucking ball so hard. Okay, let me give you some information about Izuku's quirk right now, because I haven't given enough, I feel like. Izuku can almost instantly, in like 0.2 seconds or something, he can go sonic speed, the speed of sound, okay? So 5 meters he would just like that, it would be like basically he teleported, okay? And so everyone is fucking shocked by Izuku, because obviously a huge 300 something meters, you probably could see Izuku move, because it would take about a second for him to do that. But 5 meters, that's like way too fast, honestly. And so it's basically like he teleported, okay? And everyone is fucking shocked. And because bro went at the speed of sound, the ball went, okay, so if the ball went like about the speed of sound, it went literally, because Izuku went 5 meters plus he has basically half of the strength of All Might with the boost of his transformation, and also is going at speed of sound, which would mean he goes around, like the ball would be thrown at around about the speed of sound, which would make it be thrown, thanks to ChatGPT for calculating that, 3,400 kilometers, okay? And that would take a long time, okay? It would take some time. Again, thanks to ChatGPT, it's gonna take about 50 seconds, so they have to wait like 50 seconds for it to go 3,400 meters. No, 3,400 kilometers. Everyone is literally left speechless, because the fucking calculator that calculates the distance thrown breaks. It explodes, bro. That's how far and fast it went. Compared to how fucking much the calculator could handle, or the detector in the ball. It gets destroyed, it explodes right on Aizawa's hands, and bro has to go to recover girl. And so yeah, everyone's literally left speechless, and they continue with the other tests, and they have to find this, they have to get the second one tester for the ball thingy, Cause they just not gonna do it. The test that I mean. Until they get the second one, because Izuku fucking broke it, okay? They didn't even believe that could happen, honestly. Maybe All Might could do that? Maybe All Might could do that. No one else though, no one else. So, yeah. They do continue with the other exercises, and Izuku places number 1 in every single one, because he's the god of speed. Okay, he is one of the fastest people in the My Hero Academia by now. And he just like completes every single one of them like instantly. Okay, not instantly, but I guess the grip strength one, he destroys it because he has like around about the half of the strength of All Might, because not only his speed is increased, also his strength is increased to like handle the speed, and also his durability, as I said. So long jump destroys that shit easy. 50-meter dash, you know how fast he goes, so you should be able to calculate it. Nah, just kidding. It'd be like a fraction of a second, honestly, because 5 meters times 10 equals 50 meters, and those 5 meters he like did it in a fraction of a second, so 10 times a fraction of a second. They go and finish with the tests, and Izuku gets number 1++. He gets number 0 basically. That's how like good of test scores Izuku had. Now they get done with the school day. Izuku goes home, and he actually doesn't run this time. He just goes home. He just starts walking, and just wants to chill this day. Okay, he just goes home. Obviously, I said that 3 times already, but yeah, he goes home. He gets some food. He eats with his mom. Then he goes watches some anime or something. He plays some video games, like the one you're seeing right here as my gameplay, because I decided to do something different. Okay, I decided to give like this video because it's so good, I would say. I don't know why, but I just started being better at thinking of ideas and executing what ifs. So yeah, I just decided to give it a different gameplay, which I will be using in other videos as well. So hope you enjoy it. If you do, comment it down below, okay? But yeah, oh yeah, and it was the exact same gameplay that I used for the last video. Okay, I did not change anything. Oh, and if you want to play it, I do have a link for it in the description. Okay, let's just continue. Okay, so the next day comes, and Izuku is going to school. Actually, this time, because he doesn't want to get insulted once more and get like problems for him and his mother, he actually just walks to school. Okay, but he does have to like wake up 20 minutes earlier than usual, which is like bad for him because he's like a bit lazy, I'd say, because he doesn't wanna waste time. He's not a time waster, okay? Because that's why he does like run at the speed of sound most of the time when he goes to school, or he wanted to do that, but because he has some morals, he's not gonna do that again. He doesn't want to make people deaf around him, okay? So Izuku goes to school, and he sits down when suddenly they all hear All Might coming in, and he says, "I am here, walking through a door like a normal person." And everyone is hyped as fuck for seeing All Might and shit. And Izuku is also fucking hyped, okay? Except Bakugo, obviously, because he's just a grumpy motherfucker, okay? Izuku is fucking hyped to see All Might, and this time he doesn't have his quirk activated, so he has normal emotions, okay? When suddenly All Might presses a button, and he tells them to wear their fucking uniforms. Don't ask me why I forgot the word uniforms, okay? Yeah, they would get their uniforms and like their actually it's the hero suits, right? Yeah, fuck, I'm dumb. Yeah, they wear the hero suits, and everyone surrounds Izuku in the dressing room, and they say, "Bro, you're so fucking cool. How are you so fast?" And Izuku just answers them, I mean, I'm kinda like a genetic mutation that was unique in some ways. He tells them and he says, I was born with my quirk, and my quirk is a transformation quirk, which is like unique and like special, as you know. And everyone's like surrounding Izuku, everyone except obviously Bakugo. And the one that's like right on Izuku's leg, Mineta, obviously, says to Izuku, "Yo, Izuku, can you teach me how to raise up girls? I'm your best friend, aren't I?" And Izuku answers him in his transformed state. You either fuck off, or I will punch you so hard, people from the next town over will be hearing you. And Mineta backs off. Like, he's fucking scared, bro. He's fucking scared of Izuku. And so after Mineta leaves, basically because he's scared shitless, Kaminari and Kirishima ask Izuku if he would want to go to the gym like after school. And Izuku answers, sure, I guess. So now they all go outside where the test will be happening. Why the fuck did they say happening? What the fuck is happening? Anyways, they go to where the test will be happening, or the 2v2s will be happening, and they pick lots of who is gonna fight against who, and it is Izuku and Uraraka versus Todoroki and Ida. And the fight, I guess, begins, right? Now, Todoroki, before he went to the last floor, the top floor where the bomb is, he actually did this very smart thing this time. He actually accepted for the entrance of the building, he covered the floor like completely with ice, like the smoothest ice possible, so that Izuku would not be able to run over it, basically. And that he did that for every single one of the floors, so Izuku will have to find a different way to do that, to like go to the last floor. Now what happens is the fight begins, and Izuku, after a little bit of running, he finds where the building, and then he sees like there is ice there. So probably because like there was no other building that had ice, it's probably the one with the bomb. So what happens is Izuku says, he's a smart person, because he fucking put like ice where like a person that runs like he has like a speed increasing quirk, and how he uses that speed with his legs, and he cannot really run on ice. So what happens is Izuku has to actually find a way to get over the ice or go up to the last floor. And what he says to Uraraka is, Uraraka, could you please make my clothes weightless? And she says, sure, I guess. And she does that. She touches every part of his clothes. He is like now a bit faster, obviously, because he's weightless clothes wise. And what he does is he like goes back, he takes a step back, basically more like 50, but yeah. And then he runs up the wall. Okay, he runs up the wall. He's fast enough to negate gravity, kinda. Okay, he runs up the wall, and then like punches the window where the final floor is with the bomb, Ida and Todoroki, and they see that Izuku just runs over the wall. Basically, he ran with the wall. They say, what the fuck, how fast are you for you to do that? And they're like crazing out, like crashing out and shit. How the fuck can you do that? That should not be allowed. They're saying, especially Ida, he's like complaining as fuck. And Todoroki sees that Izuku arrived, and he starts like putting ice all over the floor. And now, but the thing is, now he sabotaged Ida as well as Izuku, because they're both like runners. And now Ida cannot fucking like run over that shit. So yeah, the thing is, Izuku is just so built different. He literally just jumps because he has the strength. He jumps to the bomb. He jumps to the bomb and touches it, and then the test ends. Now they go back to where everyone is, and where the people were watching him, or the students and the All Might, obviously. And Momo comments that Izuku was the MVP. Izuku did most of the work, and that Izuku had a flawless idea, even if it was a flawless execution of an idea, even if the idea was a bit weird. We begin our part with Izuku, Kaminari, and Kirishima going after school to the gym. Now, when they arrive, Izuku asks them, why would you like ask me to come with you? And Kirishima asks, bro, we're just friends, aren't we? We're in the same class. I don't have a problem against you, so we're friends, right? Yeah, dude, I mean, you don't have a problem with us being your friends, right? Kaminari asks Deku. No, I guess I don't, but like, it's kinda weird for me, I guess. How so? Asks Kirishima. I don't wanna tell you right now, dude. And they answer Izuku. I mean, it's fine. You can tell us later when you feel better about it. And so they just like go to the gym and shit. They go inside, and yeah, they train. Kaminari does some chest. Hiroshima does some biceps, and Izuku actually does cardio. Cause bro, it's a speed, bro, it's pure speed. Okay, bro went to the max and doubled it. Bro, and actually, let's just add that they have thingy, like super powered versions of the thingies, because a lot of people are way stronger than they used to be before the discovery of quarks or the evolution of quarks. So they have their gyms are way more advanced than ours. Okay, and so they finish their workout and shit, and afterwards they just like go out and they just talk about life and shit. Like, Izuku tells him that he actually feels like better about himself, he says, because all of the people that he has met up until now, they've kind of criticized him for something he did 10 years ago. Kaminari and Kirishima are both confused about that, because like, what do you mean you have a grudge against something a 4-year-old did? And they ask about it. And Izuku answers them that he has a transformation quirk, as they know. And for some reason, 10 years ago, after he got insulted by Bakugo, he kind of went into a rampage, a frenzy, you could say. And he, like, without knowing it, accidentally or something, broke Bakugo's arm. And, like, they say, bro, did you want to break his arm? They ask Izuku. And Izuku answers them, why the fuck would I want to break his arm? I just got mad at him. And they say, then why the fuck are they mad at you? And Izuku says, that's what I'm saying. But like, for the last 10 years, I've never had a friend. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? I've tried not talking to people because they just, everyone knows about it. Well, except you, I guess. And I didn't want to have friends. I wanted to actually have friends, I didn't want to hurt them like I did Bakugo. That's why I actually avoided having friends until now. I just like was scared that this would happen again. Which is the reason I am actually as strong as I am now. Because I meditate a lot of times a day, like multiple hours a day, when I'm not at school, obviously, to try and not allow my anger to take over me when I am transformed. Because when I'm transformed, my emotions get amplified either negatively or positively. And what I mean by that is, like, most of the time, as you see, when I'm transformed, I kind of don't have emotions, and that's kind of what helped me through life, to not feel sad when people just discriminated me or were mad at me for something I did when I was 4. And what I mean by, like, it affects my emotions, I just, like, don't feel sadness or anger most of the time. I don't feel either, like, joy as well. Like, I don't feel anything. I'm kind of bland when I'm doing it, and kind of helps with the sadness that I have when I'm not transformed. But now, for some reason, I just seem to be adapting to it, and just, like, getting more emotions through the transformation as well. Damn, bro, you had it rough, they say. I mean, you're growing, so I don't know why no one would want to be your friend. Like, it's been 10 years. You obviously have gotten better at using your powers, your quirk. And so they continue, like, talking, like, right in front of the gym, like, in a bench or something, on a bench. And afterwards, like, it's almost midnight, and they just run home. And Izuku actually carries them to their home. Like, he carries them to their home, because bro is strong as shit. Okay, he's, as I said, half the strength of Prime All Might right now. And slowly Izuku seems to be less socially awkward, socially anxious, and less scared of his own power, because he's still, like, no, he knows that he can control it, but there is still the possibility of him going mad. But yeah, the next day Izuku goes to school and Aizawa gives them, or like he tells them, he gives them permission slips for the USJ, where they're going to have practical, semi-practical exams to see their heroism and their technique and shit. And so they get the permission slips. Izuku gives it to his mom, and the next day they go to the USJ. Now, in the bus, Kaminari and Kirishima are right next to Izuku, and actually Uraraka sits next to Izuku as well. And she starts thanking him again for helping her in the entrance exam, like not die, I guess, and also helping her pass the 2v2 battles basically. And when the other students start talking about who's the strongest in the class, they automatically go to Izuku, because bro just ran up a wall in like 2 seconds. Okay, he had to go obviously slower because he can't just go sonic speed like off rip, bro. Like he can't just always be going sonic speed, as I said, or the speed of sound. I don't know how it's exactly pronounced or like said, but yeah. They obviously know that he is the strongest. He just defeated the son of the number 2 hero. And so they arrive to the USJ, and 13 starts like giving her speech of like quirks are dangerous, and Izuku like resonates with what she's saying because he knows it firsthand that, or like it happened to him, that his quirk is dangerous if it's not used correctly. And Kaminori and Kirishima know that as well because they learned about Izuku's backstory. And so they go down after her speech and they start having their training, when suddenly some of the students have gotten caught off guard, and they have been what the fuck is it called? They have been knocked out basically, and also injured, like severely injured by villains. And Izuku sees that, and something clicks inside of him, and he says, I'm going all out. And Izuku goes hypersonic for the first time. He creates the giantest of fucking sonic booms and starts destroying, and I mean destroying, all of the villains. No villain will escape his sight. Every single one of them will get what they deserve. And so Izuku like goes hypersonic, as I said, his full output, and destroys all of the villains. He knocks most of them out, but all of the villains that like injured severely the students, he does the exact same that they did to his friends. And now the only people left are Kurogiri, Shigaraki, and the Nomu. So Izuku tries to go for the portal guy first, but Shigaraki orders the Nomu to protect Kurogiri, because he's the only way that Shigaraki can survive this. And so when Izuku tries to punch Kurogiri, he's stopped by the Nomu. Because let me give you some information right now. Izuku is 1,000,000% faster than the Nomu, but he's not stronger and he cannot handle as much. So you know where I'm going with this. Izuku gets picked up by the Nomu and gets slammed to the ground to the point where some of his bones break. But he gets up even with broken bones. He turns back and asks Aizawa to deactivate the Nomu's quirks so that he can do the most damage he can. And so Aizawa deactivates the quirks of the Nomu, and Izuku starts going hypersonic for the second time now. He starts punching the Nomu left and right. The Nomu can barely see Izuku, but when Izuku somehow gets slower, the Nomu stops Izuku, he picks him up and puts him down to the ground and starts jumping on Izuku. That's when All Might arrives, because Ida had time to run back and call All Might for help. And this time when All Might arrives, he sees half of the students knocked out, and Izuku bleeding out of his chest and arms. And he gets mad. He gets mad to the point where he gets his prime strength back. Somehow All Might is at his prime for this moment. The adrenaline through his body just boosted him to the point where he's at his peak strength. He jumps at the Nomu, he starts punching it, and it takes him only 10 punches to defeat the Nomu. The Nomu is knocked out, and All Might picks up Izuku and he brings him back to Recovery Girl quickly. Now, after this happened, later every one of the students is helped by the Recovery Girl, and Izuku will be staying in the nursery or like the nurse's office for multiple weeks now, like 2 weeks at least. He has gotten the most damage out of everyone. He was stomped by the Nomu multiple times to the chest. They don't even know how Izuku survived that. He should have died with how much force the Nomu like put on Izuku's chest. But the thing is, because Izuku overcame that mental block that he had, his durability went up as well. Also his strength, but he wasn't as strong as the Nomu, as I said. He went from half of the Prime All Might strength to about 70% of it. But durability wise, Izuku was way weaker than the Nomu. That's why he got so much damage. But also so little, I guess. We begin our part with Izuku being in the hospital, and every one of his classmates comes to visit him because they feel bad for him, and he actually helped all of them by catching all the villains. Almost all of the villains, I guess. But yeah, they thank him, like they talk like they're friends, and finally Izuku, I guess after he got rid of the block, he feels better about himself, and now he starts going out with his friends after obviously he gets healed. He starts like having some trips now. Like he starts like going out, like buying some shit, talking about things with his classmates, and he finally sees, like he understands and realizes and learns actually what friends are, because he never had one. He never really had a friend since 4 years old because of that one incident. But now he can just forget about it because people just like him lately. He just doesn't have to feel the guilt of breaking Bakugo's arm, since he was quite mean to Izuku as well, I guess. So it kinda equalizes, he thinks, which is a bad way to think, honestly, because bro did something bad to me, I'm gonna do something even worse to him. But yeah, he just thinks about that and just like leaves it away from his mind, basically. He like gets rid of it from his memory. And after Izuku is released from the hospital, I guess, or something, I don't know. Dismissed, I think is the word. Yeah, that's the word, I feel like. He goes back to school when suddenly Aizawa tells them next week it's gonna be the US Sports Festival, so you should get ready. And Izuku asks, wait, what's the sports festival? And Aizawa like explains to him that they're going to be like having a tournament of multiple kinds of sports, I guess, and they're going to be showing off their quirks to heroes and civilians to show what the next the next generation of heroes will be, basically. So the next week comes and they begin the sports festival. Now the first sport they're gonna be doing, or the first thing they're gonna be doing, is a race, like an obstacle race. And Izuku laughs at them because he knows he's going to win. He's gonna get number 1 place easily. He's the fastest in the school. So what happens is Izuku is called up to the mic to say a speech, and he actually doesn't activate his quirk this time. He actually just talks to them, and he just like gives a heartfelt speech about even if you think you can do something, you can just try to do it, and you're gonna eventually succeed doing it. And everyone's like, hi bro, you're the GOAT! Everyone like says and shit, yeah. Now the first part, or like the first thingy, I guess, starts, and basically they begin. Izuku just waits for people to like get a head start because he can just win. And President Mike says Izuku like gives like people a head start because he knows he's the fastest. That's crazy. And like everyone is cheering for Izuku. And yeah, Izuku like starts after like a minute of them going. He just goes subsonic this time because he doesn't wanna destroy people's ears. He goes subsonic, defeats everyone like instantly. Now the second one starts where it's like the cavalry battle, where like it's 5v5 or something, and Izuku, everyone goes with Izuku, okay? They don't give a fuck, they don't have any grudges, everyone wants to go with Izuku except obviously Bakugo, because Bakugo's still kinda salty about that shit. He got some grudges, bro, against Izuku. He got some shit, bro, against Izuku, bro. Which is kinda dumb though, but he does. Yeah, but everyone wants to go with Izuku, so but his team is gonna be him, Kaminari, Kirishima, Uraraka, and actually Ida, because Ida is like a speedster, like Izuku is. It's like a speedy guy, and they kind of found like a way, like some common things to talk about like them training and shit. And they're actually good at school, both of them, even though Ida is kind of better than Izuku. So yeah, I'm not really going to cover this since it's really not that interesting. But let's say that the 1 million point band is stolen from Izuku, but then instantly it's taken back via Izuku jumping on the people and just taking it back, because he didn't touch the ground, so should be fair enough. Now the third and final, I guess, thingy that they're gonna do is the tournament, and the 1v1 tournament. And now Izuku versus Shinso is not gonna be that hard for Izuku. He just doesn't speak most of the time, like usually, so he's not gonna answer to Shinso, even though he like got more emotions than usual, or like he's more stable than usual. So Shinso just doesn't mind control Izuku at all, and if he did, his quirk would just subconsciously move his body to just like not do that, so like he did with breaking Bakugo's arm. Okay, now it's Izuku versus Todoroki, and Todoroki knows how to do something against Izuku, and so he just continuously uses his eyes to just block Izuku, and also what the fuck was that? And also like make the ground or like the floor ice so that Izuku can't like run on it. But the thing is, Izuku gotten so proficient with his speed and his legs from that like mental block being like gone by now, that he can just like he has more stability, and so he can run on ice now. And in a desperate attempt to win, Todoroki just spams both of his sides without even knowing it, because like he doesn't want to obviously use his fire side because of Endeavor, but he just spams using both of them, but it doesn't really do anything if Izuku doesn't get hit. And so Izuku wins by knocking Todoroki out. And now it's the third fight of the sports festival, which is Izuku versus Bakugo, and this is the final, so whoever wins, so there's no takesies, backsies, you get me? But yeah, this time Izuku decreases his strength subconsciously again, even though he thought he got rid of that block. When he was about to fight Bakugo, he just got like PTSD kinda of him breaking Bakugo's arm after they wanted to fight, or like test their quirks technically. But yeah, Izuku will get somehow slower, and this significantly slower, to the point where he just goes 200, no, let's say like 400 kilometers an hour, which is fast, but not as fast as he was going normally, like not light speed, bro, what the fuck am I saying, speed of sound, or like hypersonic even. And so when the fight begins, Izuku tries to run, like obviously he's fast as fuck, but the thing is, Bakugo can perceive his movements this time because he's way slower. And Bakugo asks him, "Huh? What happened to you, huh? You demon? You got slower and somehow? Why is that?" And he starts mocking Izuku, and Izuku says, "I'm not gonna let it happen once more, and not gonna let it happen once more." But it doesn't happen, obviously. The thing is though, because of that insult that he got, he just gotten a bit faster. He can go 500 kilometers an hour now. And so like Bakugo sees Izuku getting faster and faster somehow. up until Izuku goes hypersonic, to the point where he goes 3 times the speed of sound, so Mach 3. And President Mike warns everyone that Izuku can go hypersonic, or even the speed of sound, honestly. On the speed of sound or hypersonic even. So they should brace themselves for a sonic boom. And the sonic boom happens right after, or like right when Izuku goes sonic speed, or like the speed of sound. And then he breaks the sound barrier and goes even higher and higher and higher up until he goes Mach 3. 3 times the speed of sound. And what does Izuku do with that speed? He just pushes the fuck out of Bakugo and he falls down the arena, basically, and he is disqualified because Izuku didn't want to punch the guy at Mach 3, okay? He would have probably gotten fucking severely injured by that. Or he could have even been killed, honestly. Now, after the UAE Sports Festival, it's time for the students to choose who they're going to internship with. And Izuku has gotten the ability to internship with every hero, basically. Almost every hero, but it's basically every hero. And he decides to go with the same hero that Ida goes with, Manuel, I think was his name, the water guy. Because he just wanted to go with Ida, one of his friends and shit. And maybe they could learn some about speed, because they both about speed. And so, yeah. They go and do that, they arrive, and now it's the day where the Nomu attack happens at Hosu City, I believe. When that happens, Izuku sees that Ida is leaving. He's literally like going somewhere. And he says to Manu, I'm just gonna go with him then. And Manu says, okay, I guess. And Izuku just silently, stealthily follows Ida. And then he sees that he is going towards the hero killer Stain. And Izuku just runs to Ida, slaps the fuck out of him, then picks him up and brings him back to Manu. And then he goes back to Stain. And then he says to Stain, hey Stain, your name is Stain, right? And Stain says, yeah, and what of it? You another hero, like a dogshit hero? That only is here for the money. And Izuku answers him, well, not really. I'm just here to become more normal, I guess. And also protect people, obviously. And Stain is just a bit confused, but not really, because that's the default fucking answer. And so he tries to jump towards Izuku because he knows he's strong, okay? But Izuku dodges his attack, then punches him in the face and kicks him in the gut. Now Stain is on the ground and he cannot really move. And Izuku asks him, are you the guy who injured Ida's brother? And who might that be? And Izuku answers him, Ingenium. And what the fuck is it called? Stain laughs and he says, yeah, he deserved that. And Izuku starts kicking the fuck out of him, 10 kicks a millisecond, basically. He goes very fast, not Sonic speed though. He goes very fast and punches and kicks the guy up until he's knocked out. Now he picks the guy up as well as the hero that Stain was about to kill, and he brings them to the police, and he brings them to the hospital, basically. Now he goes back to what the fuck is Manu? I forget his name, bro. He's so irrelevant, I forget his name. Now he brings him back to Manu, and he goes up to Nomus, and he just starts punching them and kicking them. And he actually this time goes full speed. He goes Mach 3 times the speed of sound. And actually this time he doesn't hold back at all, and actually punches a hole through every single Nomu that he finds, because he looks at them and he sees they're not as strong as the last one, because the last one was supposed to be built for killing All Might, right? But those ones are more support kind of types, or weaker, and so he just punches a hole through them to the point where they cannot really regenerate, and if they do, He just does it again and again and again and again. He has the speed to do that. And so he eliminates every single one of the Anomus. And most people are safe now, because they were a little bit late to the party, I guess. Now, Ida is brought to the hospital, as is the hero that Izuku saved. And when Ida wakes up, Izuku asks him, why would you do that? Why would you go for Stain, the hero killer? And Ida answers him, well, I had to avenge my brother. And Izuku tells him, you don't have to kill yourself to avenge someone, okay? You could have asked for help. Because like now Izuku is mad at his friend that wanted to literally, intentionally, not intentional, but he wanted to do something that he literally knew he couldn't do alone. And now Izuku is fucking mad at Ida for doing that. He put his life in danger, which is not something that Izuku wants to see from his friends. And after a while of talking with Ida like says sorry to Izuku for putting himself in danger. And yeah, they go back to school the next week. And everything is fine up until Aizawa comes in and he tells them that they're going to be having their final exams before summer basically. And he announces with who is gonna fight with which teacher and with what partner they're going to have. So they have noticed that Bakugo doesn't fucking like the shit out of Izuku. And that Izuku just doesn't, just tolerates his Bakugo at this point. And so they decided to put them together. And they're going to be going against All Might. No restrictions, because if there are restrictions to All Might, Izuku easy wins, okay? So what's gonna happen now is the fight begins. And All Might seems to be having a kind of head start, kinda. By being right in front of the students, where Izuku and Bakugo, teleporting for at least Bakugo. Because for Izuku, that was kinda fast, but kinda not, I guess. And so, he says, oh my damn, you're fast. And All Might answers, tells Izuku, I mean, you're faster than me. What do you mean? And Izuku says, I guess, but you're still fast. And they start fighting. Now Bakugo tries to explode shit because he has anger issues as well, and the trauma as well, because yeah. He tries attacking All Might by punching him, exploding his parts, making explosions basically is what I'm trying to say. And Izuku tries to support Bakugo kinda, but they don't seem to have any chemistry at all. And so Izuku, after a while of trying to help Bakugo, just picks him up and starts running towards the exit. But for some reason, All Might seems to be as fast as Izuku. And Izuku says, wait, how the fuck are you running at Mach 3? Because right now let me add some information right now. Lately, Izuku has been getting more and more kind of a bit. No, he's not obviously gonna be like his normal self in the transformation, but he's got a bit more expression to himself. So he's gonna be surprised, gonna act like that. He's gonna be sometimes a little bit happy, act like that. You get me? But I'm not gonna make him more than that. He's gonna be still stoic and I don't wanna be here kind of vibe. So All Might catches up to them. And All Might starts punching the air so that Izuku is knocked off balance, and he falls down while carrying Bakugo, and so he tries to cancel some of the speed of his via throwing Bakugo the opposite direction of where he was going, so that Bakugo doesn't get as hard as he does, because he knows Bakugo has enhanced durability as well because of the explosions. But not as much as Izuku does. So he tries to cancel a bit of Bakugo's fall damage, I guess. Now, when Izuku gets up, All Might is right in front of Izuku. And he starts punching the fuck out of Izuku because he knows he can handle it. But Izuku starts coughing blood because All Might is way stronger than Izuku, okay? Because All Might did get, as I said, a bit of a boost while he was in the USJ. That was mostly kind of adrenaline, but he somehow did get a 10% boost to his strength and speed and overall everything after that, basically. Kind of will unlock this bit of a hidden potential, kinda, you could say. But yeah, Now Izuku is having a hard time against All Might, yeah, because he is not faster than All Might anymore because of that boost he gained, and overall All Might was as fast as Izuku. So what happens now is while Izuku is getting beaten by All Might, he like gets even faster somehow. He has to like help Bakugo like pass and he himself pass. He can just like lose now against All Might. And so what happens is Izuku becomes way faster and goes up to the speeds of Mach 7. 7 times faster than sound, which means he's like 2.5 times faster than All Might now. And so he's able to escape All Might's punches and goes right behind them and starts punching his back. And finally, for the finishing punch, he punches All Might in the ass, and All Might is knocked out cold. Now Bakugo wakes up after being knocked out by Izuku, and he sees that Izuku just knocked out All Might, and he says, "What the fuck?" Or like he thinks, "What the fuck? Like how is he so strong? He just beat the number one hero." And so they pass obviously, and obviously Kaminari, Uraraka, Ida, and Kirishima do pass as well. Like obviously, if you didn't realize that by now, those people are Izuku's friend group, I'd say, or like his friends overall, yeah. So yeah, we begin our part with Izuku and his classmates going to the forest camp. Now, as usual, like the people that are surrounding Izuku are Kaminari, Kirishima, Ida, obviously, because they became like close friends after that. After like Izuku saved Ida from staying the hero killer, Uraraka, obviously, and yeah. So they're going there, and suddenly Aizawa tells them to get off the bus. Now Izuku thinks that's weird. I don't believe we're there yet. I don't like see anything that would be kind of like a camp. And so suddenly, when they get off the bus, one of the Wild Pussycats members, what the fuck is it called? Spawns basically out of thin air, basically, and she uses her quirk of like earth manipulation to throw them off the cliff, and and like create golems for them to like defeat and shit. And she explains that they have to get through the end of the forest for them to arrive to the camp, and if they don't arrive by like 5 hours, about I don't know, they will not be getting any food. So Izuku hears that and he says, "Y'all ready?" to his friends, and they say, wait, what you want to do? And he says, don't you get it? I wanna go fast. And they say, oh, no, don't worry, you leave us here, we don't wanna go at Mach 3, okay? Not even Mach 5 or 7, bro. And Izuku says, I guess, okay. But he doesn't actually leave them behind, he just goes with them and helps them defeat the golems, right? Because he just doesn't want to be alone, you know what I mean? That's why he offered for him to carry them to the end. Yeah, now what's gonna happen is they go there after basically they're gonna go, unlike what ifs I made usually, they go with everyone else, so the food is already like done and shit. They go take a bath at the hot spring, and Mineta says the thingy that he says like in the original, where like walls are meant to be climbed or something. And Izuku looks at him and says, don't fucking do it to Mineta, don't fucking do it. And Mineta says, okay, yes sir, I'm not gonna do it. The incident with fucking Kota like falling and shit, not gonna happen. So yeah. So now in this timeline, Izuku doesn't learn like Kota's backstory and shit of like his parents got killed by Muscular. So he's not gonna go and give the food to Kota. And who is going to do that? Probably like one of the teachers, probably, or like the Pussycats, basically. One of the member of the Pussycats, basically. What's gonna happen now is Izuku will be with his like friend group and shit when suddenly they see like we know that it's the clone of Dabi, used via like twice his magic, or like quirk, I guess. I don't know why I said magic. Yeah. And Izuku sees the guy. He knows that he's a villain because like he can just sense it, kinda. And so he like punches a hole through him, but accidentally, kinda. He didn't use enough force to like punch a hole through him. Like it was more like a knockout force punch, basically. But he punches through him somehow, and it turns out that it's a mud clone of Dabi that can use the fire of Dabi, basically. And so when they realize that, especially Izuku thinks back to when one of the teachers like went to give Korra his food, right? Izuku remembers that, and he thinks if there is a villain there, I don't think they could like handle it by themselves. And so he says to his friend group, well, I'm gonna go help the teachers and Korra. And so bro leaves, and he arrives to Muscular, yeah, that's his name. Muscular beating on the telepathy hero. I don't remember her name. Yeah, he sees that. He goes, I'm going all out. And so he actually goes all out. He goes Mach 7 from the start and starts beating the fuck out of Muscular. He tries to like defend himself with muscle, even more muscle and even more muscle, but it doesn't fucking like help at all, because Izuku just punching so much with so much force that Muscular is like muscle. Even though he can grow it fast, it's not fast enough. Or like he can make it fast, but it's not fast enough, and obviously it's not strong enough for it to handle Izuku's punches. And so Muscular is defeated quite easily, because Izuku is like fucking fast as shit by this point, okay? He's faster than one of the fastest heroes, maybe even the fastest hero alive right now. And then after he helps them, he brings the hero to the house, I guess, and he helps her with first aid and shit. And Korra stays with Aizawa. Now Izuku takes his friends and shit, because they went for a little bit of training this last week or so. They have done some combat training / coordination training, so that they know how to work together, because they're good friends and shit. And so what they do is they all run towards the middle of the forest and shit. They start helping people, while Izuku is alone. Like doing shit, and the other four are around like helping each other as well, like fight the villains. So like Uraraka like helps them capture them, and also like make their clothes like weightless. Kaminari helps them like defeat some by paralyzing them via like his electricity. And Ira and Kirishima like help each other, like boost each other like strength and speed wise, to defeat them even easier. And now Izuku is basically all of that, but multiplied by a million. So he doesn't really need their help, but he likes they're his friends. He likes them. You get me? And yeah, they are strong, just not as strong as Izuku. And so what Izuku finds out later is that Bakugo got kidnapped by All For One and like Shigaraki. Because Shigaraki did not get caught somehow, okay? Shigaraki somehow, somewhere, some way, he fucking found his way out of prison. I don't know why. He actually got caught, but he got out of prison, okay? I just changed the story, but it's fine. I know I said something different earlier, but like, let's just ignore it, okay? He just escaped out of prison somehow. And so what's gonna happen is Izuku hears about that. He runs towards where Compress and everyone is, because All For One has to now do the teleporting. All For One is there as well, and he sees that they're about to escape. And Izuku tries going Mach 7, but he doesn't somehow arrive he doesn't arrive in time to save Bakugo. And so they have to go where All For One is to go save Bakugo. Now what happens now is Izuku asks Momo, like, do you have any way that we could track them? And she says the same thing that she did in the original, where she like put a tracker on them with the help of the welding guy from class 1B. And what they do is Izuku takes that he takes that and he goes alone. He has no motherfucking help except of his friends. They are gonna go just for support. Maybe some villains are like annoying Izuku, so they're gonna be basically his goons, basically. Kinda. They're basically his what the fuck is it? Support heroes, kinda. I don't know. Sidekicks. That's the word. That's the word. They're his sidekicks, basically. And so they go there, and bro just walks in. Okay, he just fucking punches the door down with super speed and super strength and super durability, and goes up to All for One. Because this time, instead of them like Bakugo being in the bar, there is no Kurogiri for them to like help them mention. So they have to be with the factory of Namus. So bro walks in, goes up to All for One, and All for One is like cocky as fuck and say, what you gonna do, kid, huh? Because he did not learn about Izuku. Somehow. I don't know how, but Kurogiri somehow didn't like explain it to him correctly enough, and bro just didn't believe it. So All for One is very cocky about it, and Izuku like goes Mach 7 automatically, instantly, just goes right behind him, tries to like punch a hole through All for One, but he's unable to, because All for One somehow was able to activate a defense increasing quirk. Like multiple of them, like 3 or 4, and so he was able to like not even feel the punch of Izuku. So now All for One, instead of having those like shitty quirks that he has physical enhancements, overall everything. He's like smarter, faster, thinks faster, he is stronger, and is like more durable as well. And so now All for One activates all of his speed quirks because he heard that this guy is very fast, and All for One is as fast, if not faster, than Izuku. I don't know how. He doesn't know either. But bro is as fast as Izuku. He stockpiled a whole lot of fucking quirks for him to do that, because he has like suspicions that maybe he's correct, but he wasn't really thinking about it. But he subconsciously kinda like got more quirks so that he can handle himself in situations where people are faster than All Might. And so now they're basically equal in strength, speed, and durability, but All for One has way more durability than Izuku has because of the quirks. So now Izuku has a problem. He thought he was the strongest. He thought he was one of the strongest. But what does he do? The only thing he can do: go faster. Mach 10. He goes Mach 10. Bro goes 10 times the speed of sound. Okay, he goes 10 times the speed of sound. And so now that All for One cannot handle the speed that Izuku is going at, Izuku is easily destroying All for One, and so bro goes to jail. So okay, let me just finish it with a happy part, I guess, kinda a little bit. So now it's the second time where they go to internship, and this time after class 3A went against like class 1A. They saw that Izuku just the strongest motherfucker without having one for all. And actually this time Mirio gets one for all instead of Izuku, because I wanna give one for all to someone, I guess. So yeah, Izuku this time goes with Night Eye, and when Izuku and Mirio are like patrolling and they see Eri coming from a dark alley being followed by Overhaul. This time Izuku doesn't flinch at all, because he knows at this point, if he fought the strongest character, the strongest villain, that was faster than All Might, there is no motherfucking way that this guy with a bird mask is faster than him. And so bro goes up, because he saw his face at like Night Eye's agency basically, and so he knows he's a villain basically. And he sees that he has a girl like that looks beaten up like beside him basically, and he just knows he's a bad fucking guy. You can't be doing that to Eri, bro. You just can't, bro. And so what Izuku does is goes Mach 3, I would say, about. He goes just easy on him. He goes 3 times the speed of sound, supersonic boom, then just punches him in the face. He gets knocked out, goes to prison, like Overhaul goes to prison, and Eri is being taken care of the staff, I guess, or the heroes of UA, especially Aizawa. And that's basically where I'm gonna leave off this series. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the video overall, yeah, I guess. But yeah, if you have any ideas for what ifs, write them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Just am out.